Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great hump day. I hope you're humping, getting over the hump, or doing the humpty dance, or doing something hump-wise. We've got some interesting news here on the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are working the system to make sure that they can get an extra player on the roster. You might remember a few years ago when we were on Hard Knocks, there was the fan favorite Isaac Alarcon from Mexico, who was with the Cowboys for 3 years and since left for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, he has since been with the Bang Bang Niner gang, and he is suspended for a couple of games for PEDs. Okay, that's not the reason why I brought him up. But I brought him up because the Cowboys got a roster exemption for him because he was an international player. If you come from another country, as in you're not an American citizen, you can be on an NFL roster, and it doesn't count against your 90-man roster. So the Cowboys used that for 3 years, although 1 year they tried to make him a defensive tackle. It was the opposite Mark Tuinei. Mark Tuinei was a defensive tackle. They brought him over and making him an offensive tackle. But anyway, the Cowboys, they've done it again. They've done it again because defensive tackle, nose guard, the position that I got nothing but love for you, honey. Okay? Nothing but love for the big men in the middle who have the thankless job of getting the crap beat out of them every single game. It gets no glory. It gets no love. Nobody buys their jersey. You are literally a trash can full of dirt that they roll down the hill. Okay? That's all you get when you're a nose guard. Okay? Nose tackle now. Sorry. They don't call it a nose guard anymore. You know, they're just literally taking everything from me. I was a nose guard at JMU. Not nose tackle, nose guard. And I want it brought back. And I want a wedge on kickoffs too, because I was a wedge buster. They took that from me too. They just taken everything from me. I'm sorry, I digress. Denzel, not Denzel Washington, Philly 500's dad, as he claims. Denzel Daxon is from the islands, man. The Bahamas. Denzel, the Cowboys get an exemption for because he is from the Bahamas. There's a unique path to the Dallas Cowboys roster will take, but the pressure remains on him to challenge at nose tackle in training camp. So, here's the good news for him. He gets a little more leeway because he is an international player. Yes. And because of that, you can basically, you've got a developmental squad, so to speak, that you can keep him. You can cut everybody else, and it doesn't matter. You can keep him on the roster and try and develop him, try and grow him. Definitely he's 306 pounds, 6'2", 304. You can grow him some more. We can get him some Joe Boo wings. We can get him some pulled pork. We can get him some tomahawks. Put a little more weight on him so that way he can take the abuse. Now, here's the thing that most of you have no clue. See, I hate to keep quoting Leo, but Leo, from time to time, he actually says something decent besides pass the Dutchie from the left. Okay? He pointed out, and this was a perfect example. You have Dallas Cowboy fans, and then you have Cowboy fans. The Dallas Cowboy fans, the longer title and things, know more about the ins and outs of football and the team. Cowboy fans don't. Cowboy fans just kind of are casual fans. Hey, we them boys, when teams winning and stuff. And, they're the trade Dak kind of guys, and not understanding that there's a no trade clause, and you're going to take a $150 million cap hit that you can't afford to take. That it costs more money to get rid of them than to keep them. That kind of fan. You know what I'm saying? That kind. That fantasy football guy that thinks, oh, okay, let's go get Aaron Rodgers and we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. Okay, that kind of guy. So the casual people don't understand that there's a difference between being an edge rusher and seeing, 10, 12, 15 sacks versus being a one technique guy that, you might get one or two. Because as I found out the hard way, there's no love for nose tackles. If there's anybody that gets abused, it's the nose tackle because you are like the keystone of the defense. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Oh my God, that just came to me. You are the keystone of the defense. And see, what happens is if you take out the keystone, you know what a keystone is, right? You know what a keystone is. Like Pennsylvania is known as the Keystone State. But what it is when you're building like a stone or brick archway, the keystone is this last one that locks it together. Because right now, these arches are going here, have no strength. They're just going to fall. But having that keystone in there locks everything in place and makes it strong. You can go back and look at those Roman aqueducts that have been there for thousands of years that are still carrying water because of that freaking keystone. So if you knock the keystone out, that shit's going to fall. And that's what a nose guard is. Unfortunately, you got the weight of the whole defense on your shoulders, along with the weight of the center, the guard, the other guard, the fullback, the tight end with the wham block. And don't get me started on those wham blocks. That shit should be illegal. Here it is, you're down on all fours with your face up in the center, looking at the ball that you can never touch. You want to sit there and grab that football. You're seeing that football. Can I just have, just one time, just let me grab the football and let me run for a touchdown? Can I run for No, you can't do it. It's being teased 6 inches from your face. So you're down here like this. You got a tight end in motion, and at the snap of the ball, he's getting beeline right at you. You don't see it coming. Bam! It's like you've been shot. Or then you get the high-low double team. The center engages you straight up, and then you get the guard hitting you in the hip and trying to knock you out. There's no love for you because your job is not to get the glory. Your job is to hold the line at all costs. Don't let the guards get to the linebackers so they can get the tackles and the glory and the chicks. Take on the double team and go to the ground and let them trounce you. Just don't give up any ground. And that, my friends, is what Denzel Jackson is here to do. A thankless job. But the team, using the system, gets an exemption for him. Denzel, bro, I feel you. I understand. I know your pain. Because come Monday, everything hurts. You got things hurting that you didn't even know you had. Seriously. And if you have 30 tackles and 2 sacks, that's an incredible season. But all these fantasy football Cowboy fans, he's a bum. He only got 30 tackles and 2 sacks. Shit, he ain't nothing. Because you don't know dick. All righty, good people. Way to go, Cowboys. Bringing in the international players and getting that roster exemption.